Hello, everybody, and today you might notice it's a little bit different. This is kind of a vlog-ish video. I'm just uploading this to let y'all know why you won't see any videos on the channel starting today, Wednesday, October 2nd, through probably next week. Next video might be up on Wednesday of next week. It might not. So what's going on is I've explained on the channel a few times that I'm in a program for school. I remember last time I missed recording videos while I was at school, and I apologize for that. Thankfully, it was only a month. This time it's at least 2 months, possibly 3, depending on holidays and things like that that are going on. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. So with that being said, at least for this week, Wednesday, October 7th through Wednesday, October 14th, there will not be any videos on the channel. Friday, I'll be going out of town to visit my parents for a little while, and then after that, I'll be heading down to Georgia, South Georgia, where my school is at, and taking care of all that stuff, getting ready for the semester, which starts on Tuesday. So just up until Wednesday, there won't be any videos. Wednesday night, I might be able to post one. I just want to let y'all know about that. Now, something else I've got to show you. I'm getting my PC back. Okay, so back in 2015, I believe it was, my dad, who is a programmer, he's a computer programmer. He's been a programmer since he was like 9 years old, way back when, you know, like that was 1981, right? So, as a programmer, he had always had computers, and he had a server that he had built to run VPNs and stuff, and virtual machines at the house for his work. You know, as a programmer, he has to have that kind of capabilities. At least back then he did, because he was working on a lot of SQL Server stuff, things like that, that just kind of things that took that requirement to have a virtual machine to run things on. And also it was so that I could, you know, me and my sister could play games on the computer and run it on a virtual machine, as opposed to having to run it on his computer and mess up his file spaces and other things like that. So that computer, he had it a long time. In 2000 and I want to say 2012, 2013, he gave it to me. So at the time, it was a decent-ish computer, right? Graphics card was, 3 years old. It was an NVIDIA, and you're going to be laughing if you know anything about graphics card. It was an NVIDIA GeForce GT 220. And it wasn't even NVIDIA brand. It was, an one that didn't have a cooler on it, didn't have fans on it, didn't do nothing. It was GeForce GT 220. Like from when they came out back in 2009. So, we had that, and that was the graphics card I used. That's the last dedicated graphics card I've used ever. So, it was kind of crazy. And he had an Intel Pentium 5, I think it was, something like that, in it. And he could have run dual processor, but he only ran single processor. He had a Gigabyte OpenBox motherboard that he got to put in it. OpenBox is hardly a thing anymore, but he got it, put it in there, and he used that. And he had an 800-watt power supply and some RAM in there and some storage space, things like that. Of course, this was back before terabyte drives became affordable, right? This was back when, like, 256 was good and 512 was, like, really awesome, So, he had a decent amount of space because he needed it for his work. Well, in 2015, after I got it in 2012, in 2015, I got, for my birthday, I got money, a lot of money at the time, $1,500, which that was after I had, I was working like odd jobs, so I had saved up a good bit of it, and then I got like 500 something for my birthday from various family members and stuff. Um, so that year, I upgraded it, and I got rid of the graphics card. I put an ASRock Z170 Gaming K6 Plus motherboard in it, and that's still in it today. I've got 32 gigabytes of DDR4 3200, I think, or 2133 overclocked to 3200, I believe, um, from G.Skill, and that's still in it today. I put an i7 6700K in there with cooling package, and I put a terabyte hard drive in there as well as a 256 SSD, and those are still in there as well. So then I didn't have dedicated graphics. I had to use Ethernet. I had to, all the different things. So I have since burned out. I burned out because I was overclocking the 6700K to 4.4 gigahertz, right, which is a lot. And I realized also after the fact that i7 6700Ks are not meant to run 3200 RAM, DDR4 3200. They're meant to run, 2133, things like that. So I was overclocking the RAM to more than the CPU could handle, so I think that's why I burned it out. So after that, I decided just this past month, my dad bought me so he's been helping me with school because I'm, working 2 months, not working 2 months, and out of income for those 2 months that I'm not working. He's been giving me a little bit of his paycheck to try and help out because he can't afford to just pay for my school, because of debt and other things. That's besides the point. So now he bought me an i7 7700K, and I'm going to put that in the slot. That's the highest level motherboard, the newest, CPU that will go in the slot, which is an LGA 1151, if anybody's interested in that. So we got one of those, and that's going to go in there, along with the 32 gigs of RAM that I have, the hard drives I got. I'm also getting another 500 gigabyte, another 300 gigabyte, I guess probably 512 and a 256, just out of another computer that my mom had that was for parts. And power supply will stay, I think, unless the computer that my mom got for parts from somebody else possibly has an 1100 watt power supply in there, and if it does, I'm going to grab that for sure. Because why pass up an 1100 watt power supply, which is a 200 or 300 watt upgrade from what I have? If I had the choice. So if it has that, I'll upgrade. Otherwise, I'm going to stick with my 800, or I might switch to the 850 that was standard as the lower end of that other PC. And it's, in case anyone's wondering about that, it's a HP Z300 workstation. I think it's server, but regardless. So we've got the i7 7700K going in it, and I've got this. This is a TP-Link Wi-Fi card, AC1300, and it'll run 300 megabits at 2.4 gigahertz is a regular adapter. This thing will run 400 megabits at 2.4 gigahertz and 867 megabits at 5 gigahertz. And this will allow for better Wi-Fi, it'll allow for Wi-Fi because I didn't have any Wi-Fi on it. It was all Ethernet. And the other thing I picked up from one of my friends is this boy right here. So this is an MSI GeForce GTX 1080 Gaming X 8 gigabytes. So we're going to stick that in there, drop it in there. Dedicated graphics again instead of integrated, which is definitely a step up from the integrated i5 7200U graphics that I've got on this laptop that I'm recording on right now. And we'll be back in business. You won't have to deal with all. And I noticed in the last video, the random loot drops video, the first video on that I posted on Monday, I noticed there was a lot of freezing at the beginning of the video, and that's because when I start recording, the overload, the encoding buffer on OBS just, skyrockets, skyrockets through the roof if I'm running a game running some kind of other, program in the background, it just goes crazy. So it takes it a minute. With this thing and an i7 7700K, should not have that issue no more. 32 gigs of RAM, I think it'll be fine. Because this thing's got 8 gigs of GDDR4 RAM in it. So, yeah, I think we'll be okay. Because I got 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 when it's OC'd RAM on the motherboard. I've got 8 gigs of GDDR4 RAM in here. I've got dedicated graphics processor, GeForce GTX 1080. I've got dedicated CPU, that are not using integrated graphics, which is an i7 7700K at 4.2 gigahertz, not overclocked. I can overclock it if I want, Intel Z170 chipset, on the motherboard. So I think we're going to be perfectly fine. Plus, at least 256 gigabytes SSD space and a terabyte of extra storage space, plus the extra 512 and 256 of just regular storage space as well if I need it. So yeah, I think we're going to be just fine as far as speeds go and other things like that, because a lot of people don't even have this yet, right? They just came out with a 3080, and I mentioned in a video that I think the Random Loot Drops video that I was going to pick it up, right? Well, they sold out the day of. If anybody was trying to get one, it went from pick up, notify me to sold out, because a lot of companies and things are made bots to go on the page, refresh it as many times, faster than humanly possible, and purchase them as soon as it came out, right? Same thing with 3090. I was like, okay, when I saw the 3080 was sold out, I was like, okay, well, I'll just sit up and refresh it and get the 3070 as soon as it comes out. It's a little cheaper, and it's almost as good, it's perfect for what I need, right? It's way too much for what I need, but, it's okay. And then I realized, if people were buying up the 3080s and 3090s to resell them that bad, that it was that quick, 3070s probably be the same thing. So when I found that my friend, who was trying to get a 3080 as well, was running 2 of these, the GTX 1080s in SLI, and he said he wasn't using the second one because he hadn't used SLI in forever, I was like, yeah, I'll take that from you, so I got it at a lot cheaper than it actually costs right now. They're on Amazon, this one in particular, for $830 because they're sold out. They're not sold out. There's one left, I think, last time I checked, and they're not making them anymore. So, I got it for $250 or $260. So, I think I'm pretty good with that. Way better upgrade than a GeForce GT 220. Way better upgrade than i5 7200U integrated. Way better upgrade than even the i7 7700K integrated. Or the i6 or i7 6700K integrated. Way better. So I'm very happy with my purchase. I have options: 3 display ports, an HDMI, and a DVI-D. So, I think I'm pretty good with this, and I think we'll have some great content coming out with this, without the freezing, without the encoding buffer overload, without, all of that other stuff, here in the near future. So, just look forward to that. The next video I have, if everything goes well and the PC goes together nice and it works and everything, and it was the CPU. If it was that I burned out the CPU and that was the problem, which the motherboard has a little debugger on the motherboard itself that tells you codes and stuff. According to it was an issue with the CPU, so if that is what was wrong with it, then it'll be great. And I think it is, because I noticed that it kept blue screening because of that too. So definitely looking forward to that. And we'll get more content out. We'll get better content out. We'll get faster content out. We might even, who knows? This is me being crazy right now. We might even go for Minecraft with shaders. oh, flex on them. But anyway, so I hope y'all enjoyed this little conversation with the channel creator here at Ben Producing Videos. I just want to let y'all know what's going on, why there won't be any videos for a little while, just 2 days here, and kind of where I'm at as far as my PC build is coming back and other things like that. So hope y'all enjoyed this. Definitely look forward to future content, more RDL, random loot drops. I'm going to try and get back to Feeding the Beast once I get my PC back up. And I might even, I have, excuse me, I have a terabyte SSD and SK Hynix Gold in this laptop. I think I might even switch it and move it over to the my other PC. That way I have the SSD on there and all the games I've got on there, which, because I have Steam on the other computer, but it was, it was, been a while since I've had that computer because it busted. It blew over, I blew up the CPU in 2017. So it's been a minute since I've been able to use it and since I've had the ability to run anything on it. So since then I bought some games. I've downloaded more games, If I can switch this terabyte SSD into the new one, or my other PC, that will be a whole lot better, and I can use the terabyte hard drive that's on it for just extra storage space that I don't want SSD. Because if I have this as SSD for gaming, it definitely, data rates are quicker, there's just a whole lot better for storage when you're gaming with that. So, anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this episode of, but I mean, it's really just conversation. I'm going to also try to get back into Satisfactory as well, because I got to 8 episodes and I never got through the game. So I know there's probably some of y'all that wish I would do that some more. So definitely look for that too. Here in the near future, when I'm at school, I'll probably have a decent amount of time to actually record videos. Here, I've kind of been running really, they've been running me really ragged, through all the work and stuff that I've been doing. I've been working, 7 to 3:30 every day, which is not bad, but then you got to take into the fact that every day, every other day, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday at 7 o'clock, I call my girlfriend, which that's not a bad thing. And I'm not going to put my channel before her, but so that's got to be set off schedule. I don't have any time to record then, which means Tuesdays, Thursdays, get home at 3:30, talk to her at 7 through bedtime, which, maybe 9, 10, however long I stay up. Typically, it's been more closer to 8:30, 9 o'clock. So that's not a lot of time. 3:30 to 7 is not a lot of time to get stuff done, right? Today, on Wednesdays, I have church at 7, so it's the same story, 3:30 to 7, not a lot of time to get stuff done. Mondays and Fridays, yeah, I have some time. It's 3:30 to bedtime, which is like 9 o'clock. So I do sometimes record like some videos. I was thinking about recording one on Monday, but I missed it, so that's my bad. But that's okay. I needed to record this video and let you all know about stuff anyway. So Saturdays really is my only open day to like have a free, full session of recording. And then Sundays in between church services and calling Alexis, that's my free time too, after lunch. But, it's just kind of been, I was also September 16th, I was taken off of caffeine, so I run out of energy a lot earlier than I used to. So, because I'm not allowed to drink caffeine or carbonation or anymore because I was getting acid reflux from it. So, I don't have as much energy from the caffeine because I'm not used to. I was always on a caffeine, drinking Mountain Dews day, night, no matter what. I always had caffeine in me. Now I don't have caffeine in me, and it shows. And I'm also lower on sugar intake because Mountain Dew has a whole lot of sugar. So I'm lower on that too. So definitely a whole lot less than energy than I used to have. And you might think, hey, I'm really energetic right now, and yeah, but that's because every time I look at this thing, I just start smiling, you know, because I'm so happy to finally have an integrated graphics card. You don't understand being a gamer and knowing about the PC community, as my dad's a programmer and taught me how to build PCs, and not being able to use dedicated graphics for 5 years, you know, or not even 5, it's like 8 now, you know, to not be able to use dedicated graphics because of, and it's not because I just couldn't, it's just because I didn't have the money to buy it, you know. And my dad wasn't going to buy me a graphics card. Why would you buy me a graphics card when I can use integrated graphics just fine, you know? So not being able to use that, you know, now that I actually I'm able to use that, I'm like super excited. You know, it's like you buy a brand new toy and you're really excited, like a motorcycle or a truck or something or a car or whatever. You know, you're really excited for that little bit, and it's like, yeah, and then you get used to it and you're like, all right, you know, and it's still great, but I'm not as excited about it, you know. But you know, I'm just so excited to finally get that thing in my PC and finally, you know, give that PC the setup it deserves, you know, because it was built on that intention that I was going to continue upgrading it, you know, and I never got around to it because it burned out and I got into doing school and I got to college and I got into, you know, other stuff, and a laptop was much better suited. Well, May 6th of 2021, I'm going to graduate. After that, I'm working from home, I'm getting married, you know, things like that, and the marriage thing will happen, and that'll, you know, and that's going to be awesome. You know, I'm really excited for that. In the future, I'm not engaged yet, but that's my plan, you know, and she knows about it, so, you know, ain't got to keep it secret or nothing. But anyway, if I had to keep it secret, I wouldn't post it on the internet now, would I? But that's kind of where I'm at right now, and once that happens, I'll be in, you know, I'm going to get an apartment as opposed to living with Eric, who's really awesome. You know, I live with Eric. He's really cool, and he's let me stay here, and he's, you know, helped me out in a whole lot of ways, and that's great. But you know, it definitely, especially if I'm planning on getting married, definitely need a space of my own. You know, an apartment of some kind that don't have somebody else, you know, here, and things like that. You know, if I'm getting married, that's a requirement. You know, we've got to have our own space. So looking into like studio apartments pretty much to start out with, and we'll kind of move up from there. We're planning on, you know, starting a studio apartment, saving a bunch of money, and then possibly building a house or something, at least for the 3 years that I'm here, that I'm required to work where I'm at. We'll spend here and we'll save money in a studio apartment, a cheap living situation. After that, who knows? You know, we might move down to, you know, my grandfather's got a farm that I really want to get from him if I can get it. We might move down there, build a house down there, or, you know, we might just buy some land around here, build a house up here. You know, I don't know. But anyway, all that's future plans. You know, right now, all you got to be concerned about is new graphics card, new CPU, better PC. Let's go. You know, that's all you got to worry about right now. So, anyway, I'm kind of just, getting back into school this semester. I believe is machine electronics and transmissions and torque converters. In case y'all don't know, I work at Thompson Machinery Caterpillar in Tennessee, headquartered out of Laverne. I can't share too much of the information with you because it's classified, but, you know, because it's from Caterpillar, the global corporation, but and technically Thompson Machinery Commerce Corporation is the name, but regardless, you know, a big company. We cover Tennessee and Mississippi, Central and North Mississippi, Central and West Tennessee, to be specific. So hopefully y'all have enjoyed the content that I've been putting out, but it'll get a lot better. You know, we won't have as much freezing, be able to get a lot more into, more graphics intensive games. Like I've got Watch Dogs 2, and I've got Watch Dogs, and I've got, other things like that I just can't play right now and record it because they lag enough when it's just me, So with the 1080, definitely going to be able to do stuff like that, right? because OBS will run on the CPU, and that way I can run the rest of it on the GPU, and I'm not maxing it out all the time, because that's the one thing. If I pull up, Task Manager right now, and I were to show y'all what's going on, my CPU, just recording a video of me talking, spikes, right? Well, when I open Task Manager, it spiked to 98%. But standard running right now, just talking to y'all, is at about 60%. 60, somewhere between 30 and 60. Running a game like Minecraft, if I'm running like Breakout, when I recorded Breakout, there were times where it'd spike to like 100% and, not, completely top out, and it'd go back down to, like 80. But the lowest I'd get on Breakout was like 80% CPU usage, right? And that's because the CPU also runs the GPU, because it's the same chip. Integrated graphics, that's what that is. So with the GPU dedicated and the CPU dedicated to its own processes, it's going to be a whole lot better for us. A whole lot smoother, a whole lot nicer, just in general better recording. So definitely look forward to the future videos, more Feed the Beast Ultimate, Reloaded. Also, something I can do now is once I get my PC back together, I can run kitchen sink packs. So we can run like huge mod packs. Right now, I'm limited by smaller mod packs, so I don't burn out the CPU as quick as I did the other one, things like that. So I don't just way overdo things. Limited to smaller, more light, not mod heavy packs like Feed the Beast Ultimate Reloaded, Breakout, things like that don't require a lot of mods running on the CPU. With the dedicated GPU, oh yeah, i7-7700K, oh yeah. I'm thinking about doing MC Eternal. That's I'm looking forward to that. MC Eternal is one of the biggest kitchen sink mod packs you can think of. I'm thinking about doing it. I tried MC Eternal Lite on this computer. I loaded in. I could barely move. I moved maybe one block every, 5 seconds, running at 0 frames a second. Oh man, I tell you what. But on the new one, on the other PC, I bet it's going to be a whole lot smoother, a whole lot easier to do stuff like that. So, look forward to all that. And we'll get back into it. And also, once I get my new PC, if y'all know what... Sorry, it's back here. I'm sure you probably know what this is. This is technically a Rock Band controller. Rock Band Harmonix, but I use it to play Clone Hero, or a Guitar Hero clone. Don't know if you ever heard of Jason Paradise. Don't know if you ever heard of, people like that live stream that. I really enjoy it. I'm not the best at it, so don't expect me to be awesome at it. I do play on expert mode, but I have not FC'd an expert mode song yet. I've gotten 99% on Band on the Run by the Rolling Stones, but I'm close to getting that 100%, and I think I've gotten 82% on Texas Flood by Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I'm not the worst, but I'm not the best. Fast-moving songs, and especially going up and down the fingering there, the fretboard, is just tough on me, because I play it a bit differently. Jason Paradise will play it, and he'll switch his fingers. I don't. I use my knuckle, my middle knuckle on my index finger, to hit the green instead of, and so yeah. But anyway, look, if y'all want to see that, I'll be live streaming it. I'm not going to post it just because that does, a lot of that will get copyright claimed, and although I'm not doing it for money, if I ever do get to the point of monetization, I don't want them to look back at my channel and say, oh yeah, he was doing this, and that's like totally not okay, so we can't even pay him, So if I get to that point, I don't want that to be on my record, but I will definitely live stream Clone Hero on Twitch. So if y'all are interested in that, definitely go check that out. Follow me. It's at Ben Producing Videos, no spaces, and no caps. So, but yeah, I hope to see y'all there sometime. And I might be live streaming a lot more as far as Minecraft and stuff too. I've been thinking about live streaming my videos just in general as I'm recording it, but it's so hard on the CPU to try and record and stream at the same time while also playing the game and loading the graphics for the game, you know? It's just a lot. So definitely keep, look for that, and we'll kind of get into it. So hope y'all enjoyed this little rant about all the different things. And you've noticed I get off on tangents a lot. Don't worry, that's just because I'm me, that's part of me. And you notice that in my other videos too, so don't be surprised by that. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this. Once again, there's not going to be any videos from today, Wednesday, October the 7th of 2020, until next week, Wednesday, October the 14th of 2020. So definitely catch me in a week, and I'll catch y'all in a week. I'll give you another video in a week of I'm not sure yet. It depends on what I'm feeling, and hopefully I will be on my new PC on that day. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this. This is me signing off, and I've been producing videos. Thanks for watching. And my mouse is on the other screen. Thanks for watching.